Alright guys, it's Dave here at Humble Trekker channel. How you doing today? A review of a tent today. It's the Naturehike Cloud-Up 2-man tent. Bit of housekeeping, get out of the way. It's a 2-man tent. It weighs 1.5 kilos, everything included. We'll find out what's included when I start opening it up. And it cost me about 100 quid from Amazon. I'm going to take this review. It's a first impressions, never been used. The typical scenario: you buy a new tent and you've never used it, you've never tested it, you take it out, first time you're going to use it, you just open it up and see how you get on with it. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's dump all the contents out on the floor. Let's see what we got. First of all, we've got the main stuff stack. Seems to be in a nice parachute type nylon. I'll come back with the details on all the deniers and stuff like that during the video. And there appear to be instructions there for constructing the tent and the contents of the package. You can rip that off actually to save a little bit of weight, micrograms, but micrograms add up to milligrams, add up to grams, add up to pounds, add up to ounces, kilos, stones. You know what I'm talking about. Next, I discover a little grey bag, which is the mat. This must be then the ground mat. Can it be? Can it not be? Yep, looks like a ground mat. Looks at first glance very well made, very tough plastic and on the brackets. I like what I'm seeing so far. It's the ripstop parachute nylon type material. Boom boom. One more thing, looks like the main tent with a Velcro holder around it, strap to hold it together. So let's whip this out, see what we got. So this must be, okay, this is the inner. This is the outer. These are the poles, aluminium with the shock cord connectors. Nice machined aluminium joint there. We'll see how that works later to put it together. Get that down there. Another very nice, well made stuff sack. You can often tell the quality on the stuff sacks with the kit you buy. The cheaper stuff is just that really thin nylon, which just rips as soon as you touch it. But this is that good quality kite in parachute ripstop nylon. Just the feel of it, you know, you get the feel for it. Oh, I like these. Yes. Very nice, lightweight aluminium tent pegs. I like these a lot, with day glow strings attached to them. And what else we got in there? Oh, these look like, yeah, reflective straps. Find out what they're for as we get into it. I'll get the rest of the housekeeping out of the way before I start building it, so I don't forget. The materials, the floor, and I've got a cheat sheet here. The floor is 20D nylon silicone coating with a waterproof index of 4,000 millimeters. The fly is also 20D nylon silicone coating with a waterproof index of 4,000 millimeters. And the poles are 7001 aluminium. And the inner is described as B3 mesh. Okay, that's all the scientific details out of the way. Now the fun part, I'm going to build it. Not going to bother looking at the instructions. That's not for an expert like me. First step is to lay out your floor. And first thing I discovered, this surprised me. I thought this was going to be a separate floor, but it's actually like a double floor. The inner has also got a floor, but it's obviously not a very waterproof floor. So this is to keep the dampness off the ground coming to you. So first step, lay out your floor sheet, they call it. Then grab your poles, and this is a tripod. It's all one piece, and this creates a tripod where the shorter two legs go at the front of the tent, and my front's going to be closest to the camera, and the longer leg goes to the rear of the tent, and you slide that into the retainers on the floor of the mat. When judging a tent's quality, you've got to be focusing in on the weak spots, and the weak spots are the seams and the sewing and the poling that goes through it. So looking at this tent in detail, first of all, you've got to have a high basic quality material. Thin nylon, cheapo nylon is going to rip and tear, and this one, I'm judging it, they've used a very good quality of nylon. The stitching looks good, and where they've needed to, they've used high quality webbing. The plastic parts that they've included appears to be good, high quality branded stuff, and the cordage excellent. Other weak spots, your poles, you want to have good shock cord. Listen to that, that's good quality shock cord. Good quality aluminium. You want it light, but you want it tough, and I'm judging this good stuff. That's important. If the details are well looked after, the complete will be well looked after. I'm going to reassess what I said about the inner. The floor of the inner appears to be the same nylon material as the actual specific ground mat, so therefore this is a waterproof material to a certain extent, and therefore what you're getting is a double floor. So correcting myself there, this is going to be damp proof on the floor of the inner, plus you're getting a damp proofness of the specialist ground mat. You orientate the inner, there's eyelets on the inner, 3 eyelets which correspond for the skeleton, and then there's nothing more to it but to actually hook it up. I like to always start a new endeavour like this from the rear. There's a number of advantages from starting from the rear. Normally you can work out where everything's going to go virtually immediately. There's not a lot of questions to be asked, and if things do start to go awry, you can make a fast withdrawal. Simple. There's one zip on the fly, which is going to be the main door. So next stage, put the fly over the top, get it lined up with a 3-legged skeleton, and then you can start to tie it up with pegs and guy ropes. Pegging out was very, very simple and straightforward, and there's actually a couple of finesses I've discovered which we'll zoom in on. The pull out from the side of the fly, first of all, just look here, you see it's all nicely reinforced here. You connect the fly to the inner, there's a simple plastic hook there which goes to a nylon or a webbing tie out on the the base of the inner. And then this is, I like this a lot, there's a little plastic friction locker to make it easier to tie out. What some people have perhaps not realised or never fully understood, what actually makes your tent waterproof, a double walled tent like this, is the space between the fly and the inner. If the fly touches the inner, no tent will be waterproof. So you need airspace between the inner and the fly to make it waterproof. And a lot of people, they put their tents up badly, they've got good quality tents, but they put them up badly, they don't realise they have to have that airspace between the inner and the outer. They touch and then you get leakage. When you come to the main corners, there's buckles from the outer, and you can either choose to buckle to the ground sheet, or you can buckle it to the main inner, thereby so you can actually obviously put this up without the ground sheet if you're in relatively dry conditions. And then you tighten the outer here, there's another friction locker here but a different type, and you pull it like that, and that quickly tightens it up. If you need more space, you can pull out the peg. And this has got the reflective band to stop you tripping over it. This is a basic assemblage tent configuration. There's plenty of guy ropes and additional pegs if you need to guy it out if you're looking at a stormy evening. It was very, very quick to put up. There's Velcro, security fastener there. Another one there. Obviously no floor in the porch area. See if there's anywhere to tie this up. Yeah, you've got tie-offs here, which presumably which go to here. You've got little toggle tie-offs, so you can tie back the door. There's another one down there. Won't do that for expediency sake. Double zips here, and again you've got toggle tie-offs here to keep the door open, and you get a view inside. Now I can see I can actually straighten up the inner to give a bit more room. So I've climbed deep into the tent. It's rated as a 2-man tent. I'm 183, that's 6 feet. It's got a good length in it. A negative I'm going to point out is that the inner does seem to be a bit saggy, so you're not getting full space, you're touching the inner. As long as the inner doesn't touch the outer, that should not affect the waterproofness, but I prefer it to be able to get a little bit tauter. Maybe there's a trick to it and I'm not knowing it, but it's a bit saggy on the inner. There are no pockets or sleeves in the inner, which is often handy for putting your keys in, your wallet, your phone in, or a flashlight, so you can find it easily in the night. For one man, it would be a very luxurious night's kip, nice and a lot of space, even with the sag. If you're going to be 2 men in here, let me move over. Yeah, you're going to be cosy, but you could certainly do it. The porch size, we'll talk about the porch size later. Porch size is good. Well, let's talk about it now. Porch size would be able to have one person. If it was raining and you wanted to get your kit in there. For 2 people, again, it would be a little bit tight. But only 1.5 kilos. For me, this is a excuse me. A 1-man tent, 2 men if you want to save a lot of weight and you don't mind being very close to each other. I almost forgot headroom. It's nice to know the headroom. And there's actually, plenty of headroom here. So say you had 1 man could be sitting here right at the main door, and another guy could be squeezed in down here, and you've both got, well, the guy nearest the door is going to have the most headroom. Hopefully you're not all the same height. I like it a lot. There's a fly that keeps buzzing around my head and it's bugging the hell out of me. Rating and slating. Straight off the bat, I like it a lot. It's got a lot of positives. I like the fine details, the accoutrements they've included with it. I like the lightweight aluminium tent pegs. I like the glow in the dark, day glow cordage they've used. I like the reflective strips they've put on parts of it. I like the plastic buckling system. It's a very simple tent to put up, fast to put up. It's lightweight to carry for a 2-man tent, but I would be using this as a 1-man tent. I'm happy carrying 1.5 kilos to get this much luxury. I'll point out 2 negatives I think they could have improved. I would have liked to have seen a pocket or a couple of sleeves or even a hook to put small items, hang off small items and put small items inside the tent. I don't like the sag that's on the inner with the proviso that maybe there's a little trick or something that I don't quite know to actually get a tighter, tauter inner. Thanks for watching. I'll be getting back with a long-term review of this sometime next year, no doubt, after I've had a chance to check it out, hopefully in some stormy conditions, some harsh conditions, to let you know it really performs. But for the time being, big thumbs up on the Naturehike Cloud-Up 2. Take it easy. See you later. next step is to put the fly all the way over the top, and then the fuck is a zip. Here I am inside the tent. We lay down. So I'm 183. My feet aren't touching the back of the tent. So nice for a one-manner. Obviously, if you're... Let me take that again because I was laying on my mic.